Hey folks, I just did the black window trim conversion on my 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT, and as far as I know, I'm the only person that's actually done this conversion using OEM parts from the, I believe it was from the Altitude edition. Nobody that I've run across has done this, or at least rogered up to it when I asked about it. So I went ahead and tackled this project myself today and wanted to just go over a couple of the caveats. First, I'll show you what this looks like here. I'm sure most of you have seen the black window trim, either vinyl wrap or the plastic dip. As my back windows are, you can see it's starting to peel. I hate this shit. I think it's ghetto as hell. And wrapping them is it's not too far behind. But some of the things that I wanted to talk about is these lower trims here. These are pretty easy to do. Once you open up the door, you've got one little screw right here that you take out, and this trim will basically kind of come up at an angle from this side. Now it's still going to be attached into this piece right here that's right behind the mirror. Now to get this piece off, you have to actually remove the door panel as an entire assembly. This plastic panel right here will just pop right out. There's a little spot right down in here at the bottom where you can grab it with a hook and pull it out. And then right down in here, this thing lifts out, and there's a screw back here. So you've got one screw down here, you've got two screws back here, and the door panel is completely held in by just the plastic Christmas trees. So it just it pops out. Use one of your panel popper tools, and I usually start down here on the bottom, so if you do put a little nick in the plastic, you're never going to see it. And then just pull straight towards you. The entire door just comes right off the door panel. Once that's off, this plastic trim that goes all the way up and around, it needs to come off, and it just pulls right off. There's one little plastic push pin down here right behind the door panel. It just pulls right out, and this piece will come out of the way and give you access to the 3 bolts that hold the mirror in. You'll see 2 different electrical connectors in there that you'll have to disconnect, and the entire mirror assembly will just pull right out. And at that point, you can replace that that trim panel behind the mirror. The upper trim up here is a little more difficult. There's a piece of double-sided tape on this end. It's about 2 inches long or so, and then there's maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 clips along the perimeter that just kind of clip this whole piece right into the door frame. Right up here in the front, where the seam is between the 2 different pieces, this longer piece here actually slides into this piece, and the same for the bottom trim. The bottom trim will slide into this piece as well. It's pretty straightforward. There's not too many gotchas with that. The only gotcha is this little piece right across the top here for this. You kind of have to get this underneath this little lip, and that was the only gotcha that I ran into, particularly in the back. As you can see, I chewed mine up pretty bad right along in here, so I'm going to have to actually replace this panel. The back windows are, well, there's really no way around it. This trim piece up here, it's got 2 inches of double-sided tape on the end, 2 inches of double-sided tape on the end over here, and they sit behind this panel and this panel. So it follows the same suit as the front window does, where it just kind of clips up into the metal door frame there. So if you're going to do this conversion, I strongly recommend that you see about just ordering up these panels, this one and this one. The front ones you can get away with not doing. For some reason, mine's got a nick in it. That was already there when I started. The previous owner had plastic dipped all the windows and trim, and I don't know what happened with that, but I'm gonna wind up replacing all of mine just so that it all looks sharp. But yeah, the back lower is pretty simple as well. You've got one screw right here, and there's another screw in the back. You take both of those out, and this whole trim piece right here will just lift right off of the door frame. There's nothing else holding it in other than those two, and just kind of like suction basically on there. I'll show you the old pieces here. I had a fun time getting all this stuff out, seeing as how nobody had ever done it before. Now this is one of the ones that go over the front doors. So you can kind of see how there's a bit of a channel right down here where everything kind of sits for the door frame, and there's where your double-sided tape is going to sit on the end at the top. Can't really get that to zoom in anymore. Here's one of the lowers. This would be a front door, and as you can see, there's the one screw hole there, and you can kind of get an idea of how it sits in the door, kind of like that. And that side will actually have the that little piece that goes around those side mirrors that just kind of slides right into it. These are the pieces that go around the mirror. Just to kind of show you this right here will slide into the upper piece, and the bottom one here will slide into the bottom trim. Now the new set that you get, you only get the top piece. You only get this piece that slides in. The bottom, the actual trim panel that goes along the bottom of the door will slide into this one, whereas this one slides into that panel. I highly suggest when you take yours off and you go to change all this stuff out that you have some a clay bar and some detail spray handy, because it's pretty nasty back there. And I mean, if you're going to go through all this work, why bother putting some parts back over the top of some dirt? While I was at it, I also went ahead and changed out my rear emblem here to a gloss black one. That was a huge pain in the ass to get that out. Basically what I did is I got a little fishing line behind the corner here and kind of snaked it around and pulled as much as I could off until I could grab it, and basically just ripped it right off. It left a lot of sticker residue behind, but I used some of the gel type Goo Gone, and with about 45 minutes of working at scraping it with a plastic panel pry tool, I was able to get all that stuff cleared out of there. And then I was able to wipe it down with some acetone and then go over that with a clay bar, and one final wipe with acetone to make sure that the adhesive would stick. Also did the same thing for the SRT emblem down on the bottom, which was a lot easier than that emblem. While I was at it, continuing the black theme, the previous owner had put some decals up here. They were red and black with chrome surrounds, and just continuing the black theme, and replaced them and put up the the black with the chrome highlights around it. Now, I'm not a fan of chrome at all, but when I looked at these online, just having the black made it very hard to read the words Hemi, so the chrome just breaks it up just enough that you can actually read it as you're driving down the road. All right, folks, well, that's it. If you've got any questions, let me know, and post them up in the comment section. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thanks.